Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones is the third game to finish up the Sands of Time trilogy that was started by Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. The storyline has always been a key part of the Prince of Persia games, and in The Two Thrones, everything kind of gets wrapped up. At the start of the game, you're on a ship back to Babylon, and you're actually coming back there with your new gal Kylina, who, if you remember from Warrior Within, was the Empress of Time. This seems a little bit confusing if you didn't get the special ending to the second game. But basically, if you did the special ending of the second game, you beat the Dahaka, and you think you're out of the woods and you're coming back to Babylon. But what you find is that the evil vizier is back, because once you rewound time, you didn't really defeat him. He kidnaps Kylina and murders her, unleashes the Sands of Time, and it's your job to kind of work your way through the city, get back to the palace, and reclaim your kingdom. So after the Sands of Time are unleashed, you actually get infected by them, and you end up having a split personality between the regular prince and the Dark Prince. Periodically throughout the game, you're going to metamorph between the two. So as the Dark Prince, your health kind of ticks down constantly, so you always have to be on the move, trying to defeat enemies to get more sand and replenish your health. But in exchange for that, you get much more powerful fighting abilities, so you're going to find it's a lot easier to take down enemies. Your health is ticking down all the time, so when you're solving the puzzles of the Dark Prince, it's a lot more stressful and you have to work a lot more quickly. One of the biggest new tricks that's been added to the game has been in the combat system, and now you get stealth kills, which are called speed kills in the game. So when you sneak up on an enemy from behind or even from above, you can drop in. You'll see the screen kind of go fuzzy and go distorted, and that's your cue that you can hit a button and start the stealth kill animation. And throughout the animation, it'll pause and flash your dagger really briefly for a split second, and you have to press the strike button at that very moment to continue the stealth kill. You'll have to press the button anywhere from 1 to 5 times depending on the enemy, but they're all really violent and really cool to watch animations. You're going to be stabbing dudes in the throat, in the chest, the gut, and the back, and it gets really gnarly and visceral seeing that. But most of all, it speeds up the gameplay, so you're not spending all this time trying to take down enemies. You're just kind of getting through it real quick. There are also some chariot racing sequences to help break up the standard puzzle solving, jumping, and climbing gameplay, as well as the combat. These are kind of cool at first, but you'll find that if you accidentally enter one of these chariot race sequences without sand powers in your tank to rewind time, any one little mistake you do results in death. So these sequences can be a little frustrating. There are only a couple of them and they don't last for too long. There are also a few boss fight sequences. These are actually a lot more enjoyable because each boss has a special thing that you need to do to figure out how to take them out. A lot of them involve a combination of using your acrobatic skills to climb up walls and run along walls and get to a good position, and also combining the speed kill mechanics in the game. Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones is pretty much a must-play if you tried out the first 2 games and you enjoyed them a lot. You're going to want to finish up and see how the story ends. So if you really enjoyed the first 2 games, you're going to like this one. You're going to like the speed kills. And there's just a lot more of that same great environmental puzzle action where you're pushing levers, running up walls, doing really acrobatic stuff, and it's really satisfying to do with the interface. So if you enjoy all that stuff, you're going to love Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. If for some reason you didn't get into the first 2 games, then you're probably not going to get into this one either, but for most of us, The Two Thrones is a really great action-adventure game.